Hey, hi, my name is Jarlo Ilano. I'm a physical therapist since 1998. Also been in martial arts most of my adult life. When people coming in and they don't have the flexibility they want, you know, they feel really stiff, they feel really tight. And then they look at some of the models, some of the way that we do the stretches, how we get into it, and they're like, oh, I can't even get into that starting place. And what I want to say about that is, you know, wherever you start is the proper beginning of that exercise. When I have people get into this particular exercise, I'm more concerned about the shape, right? Trying to approximate, you know, the intention of that. What we'll have in a lot of the videos is show you how to modify it so you can use some pillows and bolsters and some support that you can get into the position that you can for it. Once you're there, then you can work and get better and get better. It seems counterintuitive, but the stiffer you are, the more progress you have to make. So don't be too frustrated with, oh, it doesn't look like look like how you're doing it. What you want to think about is like, okay, what is the intention of this? What is the intention of this position? What is it helping me to do?
Here we have a kneeling lunge stretch demonstrated by Sarah and Brandon. And one of the things I want to talk about here is the aiming for stability concept. And so when you're doing stretches in particular, you want to feel like you are safe, secure, not like you're on a tightrope and then you're having to fight for balance and then you have this unnecessary tension. So Brandon is using a chair, for example. You can use a stool, you can actually even be right next to a wall. The whole idea is that you have this stability, and the stability lets you focus on what's happening in the movement, and also in particular for stretching, it lets you relax into it. Jeffrey is demonstrating a modified pigeon stretch. And for some people, even this position where both knees are bent is a little stressful on their knees and their hips. So he's going to show you here how to use towels. You can use cushions, other bolstering, and he's doing what I like to call filling in the spaces. And so there's a couple things here. It can be also thought of as improving your stability, like we just talked about, but also with positioning the bolsters and the towels at your hips and underneath your knees and underneath the thigh. You're taking some stress away from it. Next up is the hamstring stretch, seated. So you can be seated right on the floor, just like Sarah's doing, or with Brandon on the chair. And you can see it's the same stretch because they're both emphasizing keeping their spine nice and flat, chest up, getting your pelvis in the right position, but also being able to do the stretch to your capability. So Sarah's fine being right on the ground. You can see her position is great. Even though her knee is flexed, she feels comfortable doing it. And Brandon's the same way. So even if you are comfortable on the ground, I recommend trying it on a chair. I think you'll like it. I think the main thing to remember is that don't try to emulate the positioning of someone that's already flexible if you're having trouble with your stretching. It's more important to emphasize your form and your posture, emphasize how your spine is, how your pelvis is, and if you have to use chairs, bolsters, pillows, all of that, then you should, because it's only going to help you get better. Make sure you have the feeling of stability when you do this. And so you notice when you use the chair, when you're sitting down, or even when you widen your stance in some stretches, you feel more stable. And when you feel more stable, you'll be able to relax more and actually get more out of the stretch. Those two things right there will help you so much. Of course, you have to just keep consistent with it. It's hard. Stretching and the gains you get from it can be very slow, but the benefits are massive.